What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash. That's BCH in sign language. We're talking about Bitcoin Cash today, baby. I love Bitcoin Cash. I love you, Bitcoin Cash community. You guys are great. I love it because there's a lot of, in my opinion, contrary to what a lot of people in crypto would think, I think there's a lot of smart people in the BCH community, man. You guys do your research. You guys are the weird little kooky conspiracy theorists that do your research on all these little things that look for evidence of like I'm not just talking about Bitcoin Cash, but I know your type, and I love your type, man. I love my weirdos. I myself am a weirdo, and maybe that's why I see Bitcoin Cash for what it is too. But I really appreciate all the back and forth conversations we've had. Even if you guys disagree with what I think about Bitcoin Cash as far as like the current price and what I think it's going to do, that's okay. We can disagree. We can both be proven wrong. We can both be proven right. It's not about being wrong or right. It's about having a discussion, sharing information with each other so we can all be better informed and make a ton of money on this coin that's going to do great things. I think anybody, whether you buy it now, you buy it lower, you could buy it twice as high from here, right? You're going to make money on this thing. It's not too late. We are in the very beginnings. I don't know who, I just commented, I'm not going to go look through it right now, but somebody was talking about the hash rate. I literally just made a comment back to that. Man, it's bothering me. Let me see here. YouTube. Let me go. John Binky. You made a comment talking about how the hash rate is up. It basically like over doubled, right? And it's the fair value is at like $300. Which is crazy, man. I didn't and I don't know how to do the math on that personally. I trust if you're saying that you've probably done the math on it. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know how that all works, but let's assume that it is worth $300. At least the fair value for Bitcoin Cash is $300, and that as you were saying, the hash rate has gone up tremendously, which I could believe. That there's more interest in it, which I could believe. Look at the volume, right? There's more buying pressure on this chart, on the Coinbase chart, than there's ever been. Let's see BCH USDT on Binance. Yeah, same thing here. There's definitely more buying interest on this pump than there's been on any kind of move ever in Bitcoin Cash's history. So I definitely believe you when you say that there's more people buying it now for sure, and probably hoarding it too. Where I disagree, and this isn't just toward you, Mr. Binky. This is toward probably most of you actually. Where I disagree is that I don't think that, other than the fact that yes, there are different indicators here going on, I don't think that this indicates different behavior for Bitcoin Cash. I think that charts, assets, they all have their own personalities, and they tend to stay true to those personalities. Bitcoin Cash's personality is it likes to go up dramatically in a short amount of time and take its time going back down. But it also, after going up, it likes to give most of that move back before going up again. I mean, you can literally see it at any single point. I know I've talked about this. I know everybody here has heard that. And something that's classic, with this move, with any move, whether it's on Bitcoin Cash, anything that's like a new move, that's like the newest move to happen, everybody thinks this time is different. This time is different. And I think the reason for that is always news. News, the media, the stuff that you look up, that you write, or that's written for you, that you pay attention to, as far as like reading and stuff like that goes. News always makes it seem like this is different. This time's different. That's why I really like the charts. That's why I really like technical analysis, because I don't care what news was going on at any points in time of the bullishness or bearishness. It's all the same story. Bitcoin Cash makes a move, it gives it back. Bitcoin Cash makes a move down, it gives it back. It makes a dramatic move down here, the most dramatic move ever, right, on the downside, and it gave a lot of it back. Okay, we're going up here. I very much doubt, and guys, I'm sorry to be the one to burst your bubble on this, but unless we haven't topped here, okay, unless this isn't a top, but being overbought like this, rejecting this purple line here, I am starting to think that this is a more major top, okay? And I don't mean a major top like this or like this. I mean a major top kind of like this, right? You went up, from this kind of area, you broke out, you went up tremendously in 2 weeks, and you had 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks down and then 1 week up, but you were kind of in this lower range and heading there for 4 weeks. 2 weeks up, 4 weeks down. And I guess 1 week of those 4 weeks was up, but you were still kind of in this range. You didn't even actually, I guess you closed higher than the open. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is it took twice as long to find the bottom here as it did to move up. Okay? You had this nice pump. It took you higher even, right? And you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks down in this range. It just took you 1 week to go up. I think that for probably the rest of the month of July, we're not going to see prices that go higher than $329, probably. Because, and the reason for that is because I am expecting that we're going to have a drawback to at least around the 0.5 area, which would be around like $180 or lower, even below 150 is possible. I doubt, again, I've said this before, but I doubt that we go below 120 or too below that. I would be surprised if we did. To be fair, though, we could go all the way down to 105, and this would be totally fine. Bitcoin Cash has even made lower lows before and been totally fine. But again, after a stupendous move up, it gave a lot of it back. After this stupendous move down, it gave a lot of it back. And this move down took a lot, this was quick. It gave a lot of it back. It took a long time to do that. We're on the flip side of that now, right? We've got an up move. It happened in 2 weeks. It wouldn't surprise me if we had 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks where we did not break this high. And 8 weeks from now would put us in, and that's kind of on the longer ends of it, but 8 weeks would put us in August, like the end of August, More likely we'll probably be at the end of this month or the beginning of August that we do start to turn up again. But I don't know if we're going to break this high in the month of July. In fact, I do think we go down. I've been saying that I think this month on the monthly candle will be red with a big wick to the downside, right? It'll be kind of like this, where most of the candle itself is a wick or something like this. I think we're going to see that. I was saying that I thought that this month would close green inevitably, but I'm starting to doubt that actually, because just being more real with myself, I'm excited, man. I am wishing that I was in Bitcoin Cash, right? I wish that I caught this move. I guess I'm not wishing that I'm in it now, otherwise I'd buy it. But we're at current areas of resistance. This is not an area that I personally feel comfortable to buy. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If it goes up, it goes up. It's going to go up without me because it's not my style to buy here. But the daily candles, man, you've got this bullish doji. Right after that, you got a bearish doji. This is indecision time. You've got indecisive behavior happening at a local top. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? On an asset that likes to give any move that you've ever seen, go back and measure it, man. Go back and measure it. Anytime that it makes a move that's significant, it gives back about half, if not most of the time, more than half of that move. So I'm standing firm, and I feel safe standing on this, that I think we're going to go down. And I'm not trying to dog on you guys or anybody for this, but a lot of you are bullish on Bitcoin Cash, and generally the crowd is not right. It's normally the crowd that is wrong. So the fact that a lot of you are telling me that you think it's not going to go down from here and that it will go up from here, it doesn't steer me toward being bullish. It kind of makes me think that we probably will go down. If I had a lot of you agreeing with me saying that, oh yeah, it's going to go down from here, I would probably be a little bit more scared. I'd be like, what's going on here? Like, if you're all thinking the same thing, like that's in crypto, that's not a good thing. Because guess what? Everybody up here thought Bitcoin Cash was going higher, right? They definitely didn't think it was going to go lower than this low after forming a higher low, higher high over years. I bet nobody thought this was going to happen. I bet back here when Bitcoin Cash had this dramatic rally, everybody up here thought it was going higher. I bet everybody thought it was going lower down here. That's what I'm trying to get at, is the crowd is normally not right. And, besides talking about the philosophical stuff, the stuff that really has nothing to do too much with TA, let's look at the TA. We have actually closed back into the overbought zone, which is not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. I did say that would be bullish and that would tempt me to buy back in. At the moment, I'm not tempted though, because even though you were kind of meandering your way back up here, if this day was to close red, this would look like a rejection off this area. Look at this, right? You've meandered your way up before and then ultimately came down. So I'm not too keen on buying this, and the reason why, we zoom in even more, we look at the 4 hour here. This, I don't know. It's kind of neutral. It's not bearish looking, honestly. I mean, you went oversold and you couldn't get overbought. You didn't have, a terrific move up there. You kind of rejected the 60 area. That, in a sense, is bearish, but you're holding this 50 area, and you're going below it, you're going above it. So I'd say that's neutral, not bullish or bearish. Let's see here. The long-term RSI does look like it wants to come down. You're kind of in this downward trend. I would expect a lower low from here, but it doesn't have to happen. It could go up from here, but look at what you got. Look at what you got on this range. You've got a high here, a high here, a high here, and they're all lower highs. You've got a low here, a low here, and a low here, and they're all lower lows. We just had a lower high. What's going to come next? What's going to come next? And we're in this. It looks kind of wonky, but we are in this price range. This is a whole range itself. So the real move, whether it's up or down, it hasn't happened yet. And this kind of winding formation that we're getting right now, I think this is it's loading up. It's getting ready. We're about to see the move, one way or another, up or down. We're about to see a move, and I do think it's going to go down. I think that for a few different reasons, but I definitely do think it's going to go down. If we go from the top here to the bottom of this range, we rejected the 618 area. We actually did a very classic thing. I know I've talked about it in a lot of my videos, but we actually break a little bit above the 618 and we turn around to the 0.69 area, and that's actually very common. We are holding support on the 0.382, but we have held it for a while, showing resistance on the 0.5 and making lower highs as we're going. I do think this wants to go lower, and ultimately the way that this looks on a fib perspective to me, from low to high, yeah, man, you're holding below this 382 even too and rejecting the 236. This to me looks like you want to see extensions off of this, which the extensions at the moment would be anywhere between $235 to $208. But again, I would expect that it goes, because of how small of a fib range this is, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw deeper extensions into the 2272 or the 2886, even the 3618, stuff like that is possible. I doubt that we see super deep retracements personally, but you can on small moves like this see I'll show you an example. Let's just see here. So from top to bottom, this is a much smaller range than let's see. Than like this top to bottom, right? This little range, it's kind of insignificant. And we see, we got the extensions here on the short term, but we actually went to deeper extensions. And this looks like it's nowhere, but I bet if I move that 3618, let me see. Let's see if we can find it. 3618. Let's move it to like the 3414 maybe. Nope, a little bit lower. Maybe it's at the 3272. 3272. Let's see. Tipped it, man. Literally tipped it. So that is a deep extension right there. And the reason I'm kind of exemplifying this right now is because most of the time that I draw fibs, I take significant fibs, or what I think are significant fibs. I take them off of bigger moves, or if I use smaller ones, I base them off of the smaller moves to come. But you generally see, at least in my experience, you generally see. I guess I'll kind of go back here. Whenever you get these bigger moves, what is this? This isn't what I was looking for. Hold on, I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say, guys, is you generally see with these bigger moves from top to bottom here, you'll see at least, and most likely you probably will see, an extension to this like first area. It's very uncommon that you get deeper extensions. It's not impossible, but it's very uncommon, let alone like super deep extensions. And maybe over time you will, but in the short term, it's very common that you see just this kind of area at the most. When you take smaller time frames, whenever you take things that are a lot smaller, less significant than that, like this range here, from bottom to top, it's not uncommon to see deeper extensions. And again, that's why I think from bottom to top here, I mean the 3618's at 147, we could definitely see that. We could see the 2272, being at 170, or the 2288 to 2886, whatever. 2272 is at 192. But This 3618 is kind of at the topping area of this point here. I wonder if we drew a line actually. Let's just see. Right about there. You know, resistance here. Yeah, kind of resistance there. Not really though. So maybe we go a little bit lower than this. Maybe we go a little bit higher than this. Kind of resistance here, but if we move this up, I wonder, to like there. Let's just see, going back here. I don't know. Somewhere around there probably, give or take. It might go lower than that. It might not go quite as low as that, but I would expect that we're going to see some kind of deeper retracement, at least into the 2s, if not the 3s. And again, my reasoning for that is you generally see that whenever basing moves, if you get the direction correctly. You know, this is all assuming that it's going down. If it's not going down, then it won't see those at all. But if the direction's right, basing it off of this little range here at the top, I think it's totally normal to see deeper extensions. That's all I'm trying to say. And those deeper extensions are pretty far away from the current price. Pretty far away. Man, let's just go back. I've done this before, but let me just, let me kind of like justify what I'm saying, okay? So I don't just sound like a total madman. This is going to be a long bit. If you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. This is probably going to be a little bit boring, but if you stay around and let's say you're bullish on Bitcoin Cash right now, you think it's going to go up, you think I'm wrong, and I could be wrong, and it's going to go up from here. C-Zar is going to miss out on the pump. Haha, sucks for him. Stay with me. And let's see if I can convince you or change your mind. I'm not trying to convince you. This isn't financial advice or anything. This is just my opinion. But let me show you why. Okay, right here, very beginning times aren't relevant, but from bottom to high here, you gave back most of that move, if not all of it. Okay, inevitably more than all of it. From top to bottom here, I don't even need to draw it. You gave back all of that move. From the all-time low on this chart, or maybe that's not the all-time low. From the current low, that's not the all-time low. To this high, you went up, and actually, let's even do this one here, this smaller one. You gave back, you bounced at the 0.5. The 0.5. You gave back half of the move. Take it up, go all the way up here. You gave back immediately, you gave back almost to the 0.5, but ultimately you gave back past the 0.69 down to the 786 even, like right around there. You gave back most of that move. Okay, let's keep going. Let's measure this bottom here. And this pump here, you can see you gave back most of that move. I guess I shouldn't have drawn that one's obvious. Let's take these bigger moves, right? From bottom here to this top, it's a big move. We must not have given half of it there. We didn't, but we got pretty dang close. And this is the minimum expectation that I would see. And this drop, by the way, was a 63% drop. And it still did great things afterwards. It still proceeded to go dramatically higher. From 200 or 2,426, it doubled that almost. So it can have these dramatic moves back, and that doesn't mean that it's over. This is a healthy correction. If anything, it's a dramatic correction, but it's healthy. Look at how fast you came up when you decided 1, 2, 3 weeks up, and in that same week you had coming down. So in this week it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks that you were coming down, and then even 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks before you broke out of this range. It took less time going up, more time coming down, depending on the direction. But again, you gave back about half the move here. Let's go from this low here, from this low to even this high right here, 0.5. You gave back half of the move again. Okay, bottom here to top there. I mean, clearly over time you gave back even more of it, but let's go to the actual low here. Immediately you bounced, you came down to the 382. That's probably the best drop that you've seen, but again, this was at the all-time high. This is at a cycle high. You saw a 63.9% drop. So even at a 382, that's still a very massive dump. By the way, a 63.9% drop from here, where we're at, where would that take us? From top to bottom. Again, it'd be from top to bottom, not from where we're at. A 63% drop, which we've seen twice now in the examples I listed, that's at around $120. Okay, so that would be well below its 382 right now. I don't know if we're going to get that kind of drop. I don't expect that. But again, we were all the way back here, all the way back here at this high. Now we're going down. Now we're in a bear market. So let's flip the script. Let's go from top to bottom. You gave back most of that move too on the downside. From top to bottom, you came up not to the 0.5, but close to it. You gave back almost half of the move here. This is kind of common, and inevitably you did. You gave back, from top to true bottom, I guess. You gave back over half the move, right? And on this one, you moved up. You moved up from bottom to top. And then where you found your next immediate low, it was at the 618 area. And ultimately you went lower than that, sure. But, here, top to bottom, 0.5. You gave back half the move, again, literally. We're going to keep going. We're almost done. But I want to drill this in to any of my fellow subscribers who might be naysaying, and that's okay. You can have your own opinion. I can show all of this stuff, and as true as this is, because it's not a lie, this is true. As true as this is, Bitcoin Cash doesn't have to do this. It could prove me wrong, man. It could prove all of you guys right. It could go to $800 from here. Sure. It's with the move like it's doing now, man. It wouldn't take long. But with the readings that we're seeing in the technical in the indicators, I'm not anticipating that personally. And with my experience with Bitcoin Cash, I'm not anticipating that personally. It doesn't move up for too long. It looks like here you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks that were green that it was moving up, sure. And we've only had I said 5 weeks, that was 5 days. At the moment we've had a lot more than that. But look at how small this is in comparison to how quickly, I guess I'll just draw that again, to how quickly, was it over here? It was further back. It's how quickly this went up, you know what I mean? You go up quickly like this, you're going to come down. It's just inevitable. But again, bottom to top here, you gave back 0.69% of that move. From this bottom to even this top, even this little top here, you gave back, we can zoom in on it, you gave back 382, or no, I'm sorry, 0.5. You gave back 0.5 again. From the bottom to this top here, you gave back 618. From the bottom to this top here, you gave back less than the 382. But again, I don't know, from this bottom to here, I don't know if that's an accurate representation, in my opinion. I think, I don't know, if I would probably more measure it from like here or here even, which that would be at the 0.5. But let's say it's at the 382. Let's say we've got the first one that's actually at the 382. This would be the best case scenario that we've ever seen for Bitcoin Cash. Okay, maybe. That's completely possible. We could see that. The 382 where we're at now is at $204. We're at 278 right now, so we could definitely go lower. Bottom here to, I guess, this top, but not we're in a range here. The true top was here. You gave back most of the move almost immediately once you decided to get out of it. And I don't know, man. I'm going through this. I don't need to measure this. You can see it gave back most of its move there. Let's see here. Let's see. Kind of flat, sideways moving. Okay. So from here, bottom to top, you gave back most of the move for sure. Here you gave it back. Here you gave it back. I don't need to draw the fibs for you to see this, right? You gave it back. You gave it. This one might be a little less of a give back. Let's see, from bottom to top here, still below the 0.5, around the 0.5. From bottom to top here, I mean, obviously it gave more of it back inevitably. But just go through, look at it yourself, man. Like really look at it yourself and see if you see what I'm seeing. If you don't see what I'm seeing, that's cool. Maybe I'm not seeing what you're seeing, But this thing does not move, and most things, in fact, do not move in straight lines. That's not how it works. It is completely healthy to do stuff like this, to stair step. It is completely healthy to retrace and contract and consolidate. It's complete. It's healthy. You want to see that. You don't want to see. I mean, obviously, anybody who's holding any asset wants to see it just go up all the time, but that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. Because if you have a bunch of people who bought down here and now they're all up here holding and it went up overnight, how many of those people, it would be easy for them to sell large amounts of money. What wasn't large down here is now large. They could just take a little bit off the table for them and it would sell, it would sell things. And then you got people who bought along the way, where if it goes lower than where they bought, they start selling because they're scared that it's going to go lower. It just all adds selling pressure. And that's why when you get these big moves, you see kind of dramatic quick pullbacks. But ultimately, and I do believe that the buying pressure is more immense than the selling pressure, there will be a medium. There will be what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a balance, right? Where the bulls will show their strength over the bears, and all the shake hands will get weakened out. That's all this is going to be, is a shakeout, and then boom, the people who are here for the long haul, they're gonna buy their bags, and it's gonna go up from there. Roger Ver and the boys, they're gonna buy it down here, man. I'm not selling it. I don't have any, so I'm not going to sell it to them. But I hope none of you guys who are watching this sells it to them too. If I was in Bitcoin Cash right now and I thought it was going up, what I would do if it moved down, I wouldn't panic. I wouldn't scream and throw a fit. I wouldn't be upset. I would be happy, because it's just another time to buy more. Buy more. Maybe you bought it higher than what it's at now. Maybe you bought it around where it bottoms from here. Buy more. That's not financial advice, though it should be, but that's what I would do. It's even if you want to hold here and you want to hold on to the faith that it's going to go up, and it really could go up. If you want to hold on to that, but it goes lower, you better not sell. You sell at the highs. You don't sell at the lows. You buy at the lows, because when it drops and you're feeling that hit in your gut feeling that you could have sold $100 higher, that's not whenever you sell, man. You don't sell it. That's when you buy. That's actually when you buy. So this euphoric feeling that a lot of people are having right now, I know I'm getting a lot of comments of people talking about how I'm wrong, how it's going to go up. I've even watched people make videos talking about how, like, it'd be funny if I missed my if I missed my chance on buying it, because it'd be funny to just watch it like keep going up. I hear you, man. It would be great. It would be great. I wish it just kept going up for you guys too. I wish I missed my chance so that all of you guys could just make a shit ton of money without me. But that's not how it works. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it is how it works. But just we literally went through it, man. We literally went through all the times that Bitcoin Cash has pumped in its history, and it gives it back. It gives it back to the tune of the 0.5 most of the time. And the 0.5, just to put it in reference from here, from bottom to top, the 0.5 is at $173, and most of the time it actually went slightly below that. Not right to it, but slightly below that. So I bet 170, which, by the way, slightly below this green line is right where this top is, right around where this bottoming area is. I wonder if we'll go test previous areas of resistance as support. I wonder if we're going to reject this purple line, an area that we've rejected once, found support on another time, rejected over here. It doesn't look like we rejected it here, but you can tell that it's definitely significant because we closed right at it, and then once we broke above it, we tested it as support, and it was off to the races. So I think this line is significant. I think rejecting this 50 area is significant, and I think that this is all just common behavior. All that to say that Bitcoin Cash is doing what it's always done. It's moving up, and while it moves up, it has little drawbacks. And then guess what? It draws back, and then it moves up higher. And then it draws back, and then it moves up higher. And when it moves up, it's going to be very quick. When it draws back, it's not going to be as quick. It's literally going to be twice as long. It's going to take twice the time, 3 times the time. The move down itself can be quick, but you're going to hang out in these areas for a long time if it's quick. If it's not quick, then you're not going to hang out in those areas for too long, right? I don't know. That's my expectation right now. This is a little bit of a rant. I hope I haven't offended anybody. I'm really not trying to fight or argue or any of that. I'm just you guys have all shared your information, your opinions with me. You've given me genuine information, genuine content on your comments. And I appreciate the hell out of that, man. I really love it. So this is a discussion. I'm giving you my genuine opinion. I'm giving you the information that I'm genuinely seeing. I'm showing it to you right now. So I hope nobody is taking this as an offense. I don't see how anyone could. I haven't called anybody out. I'm not being like, oh, you're stupid, nothing like that. I even had somebody say wrong, like after let's see here, whenever I was bearish, saying that we were going to go lower. Let's see when. It was probably on this 4 hour, actually. I think it was on this 4 hour candle. And then we had let's see, from wherever I posted, we had less than a 10% pump. And I remember thinking, I'm like, and I even commented on it, I'm like, I'm not wrong. We had a lower high. We didn't even go up 10%. I'm not wrong. I'm not right either. I'm still not right. That's why, even when we had this move down, and I've been calling that we'd go lower from up here. I've been calling that we'd go lower from here. Even though we went down from a top, that's the wrong measurement. Even though we were down 24% at one point. I wasn't tooting my horn saying I was right because, again, the TA has yet to proven that. We're still in this range. We haven't done anything to break out of this range. So I'm not trying to advocate that I am right or that I'm wrong yet. You know, that has yet to be proven. I'm not trying to advocate that anybody's right or anybody's wrong. I'm really just trying to talk some sense and make sense out of the charts. And yes, I have a bearish bias, so I'm going to make sense to the bearish side. Yes, to me, this looks like a descending kind of formation. You have a base here, and you're forming lower highs and lower lows. You just had a lower high. What's to come next? On the 4-hour, your RSI is kind of neutral with, I guess, a slight bearish lean to it, but it's kind of neutral, so there's not a whole lot going on there. On the daily, you're coming out of the oversold zone, or overbought zone. You did just close above it, but Bitcoin just closed into its overbought zone, right? It literally just did the same thing. Go to BTC USD on Coinbase. It came out of the overbought zone, came back into it, and then that marked for more of a downside. We've actually been going down ever since. So could this be the beginning of this down move that I've been projecting now for, I mean, I guess since like way back here, man, you know, like I think even lower than this. It was probably around, I want to say it was around 140 or 170. I don't remember. Maybe it was around 160. I really don't remember where I was originally bearish, but I don't care because I do think we're going to see those prices return. And if not those prices, somewhere near those prices, maybe just a little bit above. But all that to say, guys, I really do love Bitcoin Cash. I love all of you guys. I really appreciate the community here. I appreciate all the information that everybody's sharing. I don't care if you make a call in the comments and you're wrong. I don't care if you're wrong 9 out of 10 times. Like, if it's coming from a point of an educated guess, if you're actually talking facts here and you're not just touting nonsense, tout nonsense too. I don't care. I'll tout nonsense with you. I'm not going to turn it into a screaming match. I don't like that kind of stuff. But if you're sharing information, man, I'm going to share information with you too. And I hope that we can all keep it civil and just kind of grow and make money together, man. That's what, you know, this is my channel, okay? I made this channel, but if someone comments something that shines a light on something for me to see and I make money on that, it's a journey that we're all in together. Like that's kind of the whole point. And you know, I'm not trying to say like I don't know. I'm not trying to say that it's all like financial advice, right? Like we're all in it together. So my decision or your decision, we have to link up and make these decisions together. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying sharing this information together will only help us all be better informed. That's all. That's really all. And I appreciate the hell out of you guys. I hope you appreciate the content too. If you do, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. And yeah, with all that being said, have a good night, everybody. Take care. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.